Hey guys, welcome to another reading. We're going to take a look and see what your money message is for the next 6 months. So what do we need to know about money, business, career, for the next 6 months? What do we need to know? What do we need to hear? Okay, sorry, that fell on the floor. We have creative process. It says, do not rush the journey of your blossoming soul. It's a new oracle deck that I got, and it is beautiful. Let's see. Next 6 months in money. Ooh, we also have voice. Interesting. It says, honor the power of expression and communication. So I feel like over the next 6 months, there's going to be this, like you kind of almost like sharing something maybe. I also feel like this is like almost an element too of like manifestation, where it's like you creating an idea of like what it is that you want, right? Like the vision, how you want things to look, and things coming into your life, like you're wanting to manifest things into your life. And then with the voice, it's almost like the expression or the sharing or the asking for what it is that you want. I also feel like, though, we have connection here at the bottom of the deck, which says, do not close yourself off to love. I feel as though there could be people in your life, connections, people who you're, because this is like, there's 3 people here. So it's like, it reminds me of the 3 of Cups almost. So it's almost like celebration. Like there could be people who are rooting for you, cheering you on. Some of you could be manifesting more clients, or there's something here with like even like social media and sharing your gifts and your talents and your skills and things that you have to offer the world. Some of you could be doing things like artistically as well, or you could be literally sharing your voice. It could be like music, writing, speaking. Again, it could just be like social media. I also feel like you're not meant to rush this manifestation. So over this next 6 months, I feel like things are going to be changing and expanding and growing for you, but don't try to make it happen quicker than it's meant to happen, right? What else here? Money, the next 6 months. Ooh, I have to get a better setup for this. Yeah, we have wish upon a star. So again, kind of that manifestation. And then we got willing release at the bottom here. And we have willing release. And then we have uncharted sea. So you're trying to go somewhere with your money that you've never been before. You're trying to maybe make more money, or maybe try to like pay off debt, or try to make more money, get a raise, something like that, where you're trying to access this like new place. And I feel like there's things that you're trying to manifest, things that you're trying to create. But I also feel like you have to like, you know how they talk about the element of manifestation where it's like, you know, set your intention, you know, say what you want, ask for what you want, and then like let it go. It kind of reminds me too of that, like, if you love someone or something, like let it go and it'll come back to you if it's like meant for you kind of thing. It's like that, where I feel like there's almost, don't hyperfixate on the manifestation, because in some ways we can kind of like create resistance or push it away because we're too focused on it. Sometimes when we set an intention of like, okay, I want to see this sign, or I want to see this amount of money, or I want to have this experience in my business or whatever, we can, if we think about it constantly, it doesn't do what we want it to do. We have to have the intention. We have to have aligned action that we're taking with it. And our energy has to be open towards it, but fixating on it and like, when is it going to happen? How is it going to get there? Like, it needs to happen now. It's not happening fast enough. Like all of those things are going to kind of like create this resistance and create this pushing away. So I feel like you almost need to release like the expectation of how it's going to show up, or because even with the dandelions here, it's like you make a wish, right? Like you make your wish and then you blow on these seeds to like let them all go, right? And then that's like the act, the ritual of like setting your intention. And so keep working on what you're trying to create. It's not like you do nothing, but whatever you're hoping and wishing for, I feel like you need to maybe release how it shows up for you or when it shows up for you. There's something about that process of it. I'll give you an example. I started a manifestation challenge on July 1st. And I was like, what day is today? And on that day, I was driving up to my cottage because I'm in Canada here, and Canada Day is July 1st. And so I was driving up to my cottage, and I was like, oh, start of the challenge, whatever. I'm like, I would love to see a blue heron. And I was thinking, oh, I'll probably see one. Maybe I'll see one at the cottage. And not that I've ever really seen one at the cottage, but I'm out in nature and whatever. And so I was like, I would like to see a blue heron as just confirmation, like just to kind of, as a sign, just to kind of test it out. So nothing came that day. I kind of forgot about it, whatever. 2 days later, like on I think it was like the 3rd, the girl who's running the challenge, I was just like going through her Instagram stories because she was like, she's been sharing a lot and people are tagging her and stuff. And someone had tagged her in their story, Instagram story, and it was a blue heron. Like literally a picture of it almost was like an oracle card. It was like, it had a blue heron on it and it had like a little description with it. And I was like, that is so crazy. So I messaged her and I said, this is wild. Like I asked to see a blue heron and like now there's one just on your feed. But I feel like you're trying to go somewhere you've never been. And when it comes to the money and going somewhere or having money that you haven't had before, there's sometimes like this fear that it's like not going to show up, or this pressure around like it has to look a certain way, or we have a hard time trusting it because we've never seen it before. And so I feel like there's something like that, to make a long story long. What else here for money over the next 6 months? We have depths showing up here, and it says emotions. What is going on underneath the surface? And then we have seed with new ideas, inspiration, and potential. I do feel like, again, you are planting new seeds. You're trying to get things off the ground. You're trying to get things moving. But again, there could be these emotions that come up of like, it's not happening fast enough. It's like this worry, this stress, this like panic, fear, or maybe there's other things like if you're trying to manifest money and you're trying to manifest more money, but then these other money issues are coming up, right? Like that commonly can happen because it's triggering us to show us what we maybe need to process or work through or deal with, whether that's emotionally, physically in this like 3D world, or even, mentally, spiritually, right? What we kind of need to clear out in order to, get into, we'll say, alignment here. So let's get some tarot. Let's get some tarot. Also, I was playing around with the idea of doing some short, like 5, max 10 minutes of like sign readings for money. So let me know if you would like that. Okay, money message for the next 6 months. What do we need to know about this? Money for the next 6 months. We have the Devil card. We have the King of Pentacles. And we have the Ace of Swords. Okay, this is pretty good. I feel like the Devil is a little bit of that like fixation energy I was kind of talking about with this like letting things go, releasing things. You could be like, I feel like there's like this hyper fixation on what you want to create. Like I want $10,000 a month. I want to manifest $50,000, or like I want my business to have X amount of clients. Like there's like a big goal that I feel like you have, or what feels like a big, and it's just a place you've never been in, which is I think why it feels big. And I feel as though there's, again, this hyperfixation. And so we have to make sure that it's the right type of fixation, right? Like we're taking actions, we're still doing things from a aligned place, and not just doing things from I just want the money, so I'm going to do it however I just need to do it, So there could be kind of this obsession, this like overindulgence, or this the shadow aspect of the devil is kind of like going after things, being very materialistic, lusting after things, right? To, you know, kind of make things happen and trying to have like an element of control. And I feel like there's a need to kind of like break that control, because the manifestation is going to show up how it's meant to show up, right? King of Pentacles, again, it is a stable energy. So I feel like there's like a sense of stability and security that you are trying to like create, or that you are creating. I feel like this, if you're having a business, this is a great energy for business. I would say, again, it's just making sure that you're not trying to control the outcomes, control every little, you know, nook and cranny, because that's also going to add to your stress levels. But there is kind of like an element of like a clarity and a direction or truth that you're moving through. Like, I think you are going to have success here, like what you're focused on. There will be an element of success, and I think you just need to allow it to unfold. Yeah, we got the King of Wands. So I also feel like your creativity is going to be increasing here. I definitely feel like some of you could definitely have like your own business with the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands. I feel like you're stepping into this like leadership energy, and taking control of things. And even if it's just financial, it's like you're taking control of your financial destiny, right? The direction that you're moving in. I feel like you have a lot of clarity of the direction that you're going in. Some of you might even create like a vision board, or, you know, write things out, like however you like to manifest and however you like to cast that vision for yourself. I feel like you're going to be taking a look at things, but and like documenting things. But I also feel like, again, with this King of Wands, it's take a look at the big picture of things. Keep your eyes on the big picture and don't get so focused on like, well, right now I don't have it, right? We have to like stay open to what we're trying to create. Clarify this Devil energy. Clarify this Devil energy. We have, the Hanged Man. So this is, I feel like, where you could get stuck, and also where you might need to shift your perspective on the focus, the intention that you have. Like, it's like your shadow aspect. And so some of you might actually be seeing more of your shadow with this Hanged Man. Like there might be even a bit of a pause, or if you might need to take a break or pause in order to get a sense of clarity of the direction you really truly want to go in. Sometimes we're so fixated on the money that we're like, well, what am I actually trying to create for my life? Like, a lot of times I just saw a post actually, and it was like, you don't want to be rich. You want to be able to go to a coffee shop on a Tuesday afternoon, or you want to be able to work out at 11 a.m. You want to be able to pick your kids up every day from school. You want to be able to, you know, have a slow morning where you get to just enjoy your coffee and sit out on the porch, right? Like, we really actually crave the things that money can provide us. And I'm actually going to be talking about this in my workshop that I'm hosting. It's an in-person workshop, unfortunately, for those of you who are watching, who are usually usually not in Canada. But it's like sometimes we get so fixated on the number that we forget the actual goal, you know, what the dream really is. And I feel like that's where you might be getting a little bit of like a shift in your perspective. And again, this is also indicating like letting go. So letting go of this control, letting go of this, it has to look this way, or it has to be this way, or again, this fixation that you might have, this gripping of this like identity that maybe is actually slowing you down. Yeah, we have the Death card. So it's like that, I feel like, is changing for you. I feel like a lot of you are letting go of those attachments, or there's that control or that idea. King of Pentacles, we have the Hermit, clarifying it. Again, kind of more of just this spiritual journey. There's a lot of like internal work that I feel like is going on here. I also feel like, again, there's just more of this clarity of like the direction that you really want to go in and what you want to create for yourself. What do you want to have financially? What does this really mean? It's like you're finding a sense of wisdom within yourself due to all of what you're experiencing. Clarify this Ace of Swords. Clarify this Ace of Swords. We have the King of Cups. So really interesting, because we have 3 kings here. I feel like you're having a breakthrough when it comes to how your head and your heart are kind of operating together, if that makes sense, over these next 6 months, where again, we had this emotions card, right? Of this depth. So like what needs to be kind of like looked at here, right? Like what's going on beneath the surface. And I feel like with this King of Cups, it's like you're getting a handle on that. So I feel like there's a breakthrough in how you respond to money, how you feel about money, how you think about money, the actions you take towards money. And that's only going to make you more money. And I can speak to that from experience. When you're not reacting from a stressed out space or this, devil energy where it's like, it's this fixation, right? Like usually it happens a lot easier. And you're also usually creating it from a place of like alignment. Yeah. And then the King of Wands, we have the Lovers. So again, doing things in alignment, like having this like union between you and your money, like things starting to come together. We do have the 10 of Wands. So there's going to be work. There's going to be effort that I feel like you're putting into this. But I actually think with the 3 Kings here, you can create a lot of stability and security for yourself over these next 6 months. But it's by doing things, we'll say, the right way in the sense of like what's aligned for you. And I think it's about maintaining your sense of composure. And that's where a lot of people get kind of funky with money, is that money kind of has these highs and these lows a lot of times, right? And a lot of us aren't able to ride kind of that like the neutral in between and just let the highs and the lows happen. It's like a person. If someone's flying off the rails, you have to know how to like maintain your sense of composure. It's the same sort of thing with money. If money is kind of all over the place, and it's like, even like investments, right? They can go up, they can go down, they can go this way. There's expenses, there's no expenses, right? Like we never always know what twists and turns money's going to take. But if we can learn how to control our reaction and not be so triggered by it, we maintain neutral, and money will naturally want to come to you in that space, right? Rather than you're constantly in this like attract and repel, right? We want to kind of maintain this sense of, composure is like the best word I can kind of think about it. So let's get some more messages here for money. We have your past supports your future. So think of it as this: the decisions that you're making right now when it comes to your finances are supporting you 6 months from now, right? Sometimes we get so fixated on like right now it isn't changing, but what's happening right now in your current reality is based on past experiences. And I feel like that is either supporting you or not supporting you. And so if you want to change the future, you have to focus on what the actions are that you're taking right now. We also have Creator, Alchemy. So again, more of that kind of manifestation energy. I really feel like you're going to be changing the actions that you take, the energy that you respond with. Okay, we got 2 here. We also have Sacred Mirror. I feel like that's a little bit of this Hanged Man. Something's being reflected back to you during this time. And then we have Creator with Fire. There's that King of Wands. So it's almost like you get to, I don't want to say restart. I don't think that's the right word. It's like you get to reevaluate and realign yourself over these next 6 months. So you might be looking at the past 6 months. As I'm doing this, it's July. So like you might be looking at the first half of 2026 and being like, it was a shit show. Like it didn't go the way I wanted. Nothing happened the way I wanted. Like, things weren't working the way I wanted, or my direction, my focus, right? With this devil energy, my focus was in the wrong places. I was focused on the wrong things, or maybe you're having some insight and some clarity of like, oh, maybe this is the way I should be approaching this instead of the way I have been. And this next 6 months gives you the ability to rewrite that story, to rewrite your money story when it comes to what you get to create for yourself. And I feel like you are going to be in this creator energy, and the actions that you're going to be taking moving forward are going to yield you different results. They're going to get you different results. And I feel like things are like, you're going to be in a lot more of alignment with how you're creating, what you're creating. So again, if it's content or your art or whatever, because you're in this creative process, right? Like we have the creative process, we have the creative fire, we've got that King of Wands energy. So there's you definitely in this creative energy these next 6 months, but you're doing it from a place, I feel like, of alignment and a true, proper, we'll say, aligned expression, like authentic expression, but in a way that you're understanding and discovering yourself more. And then you're going to create and manifest more money from that place. Because the King of Pentacles is here. So there's stability. But I think the stability also comes with like how you feel internally about money. And what's interesting is the only king that didn't show up was the King of the King of Swords. And so the King of Swords is all about the mind, right? And so I feel like there's kind of this mental gymnastics that you're kind of starting to understand when it comes to money, how you think about money. So let's get a final message here for this money reading. I really feel like your wish is about to come true over these next 6 months when it comes to finances. You're going to see, if anything, growth towards the wish, you know? But it's because of this like realignment. Okay, final message for money the next 6 months. We have take the lead. We also have slow and steady wins the race. Again, kind of what I was talking about in the beginning of the reading. Like, don't push this, don't rush it, don't force it to be something it's not. Like, you don't have to make it happen in this timeline. You just have to align with the energy. But at the same time, you do need to take action. It's like it's a little bit of like taking the aligned action, but not doing more than you need to, and also not forcing an outcome. You can take action and get the outcome, but you don't need to force it to make it happen. It's like making sales. Sometimes you can be like the icky salesman, you know, like the car salesman that everyone always kind of like jokes about. You can be kind of like pushy and like never leave people alone, and that would be forcing it, right? Or you can express yourself, you can share your offers, you can share your content, you can talk about your offers, talk about your things, but you're letting people come towards you. And so it's attracting in that way, right? You're still putting yourself out there, you're still taking the lead, you're still taking action, but it's from a different place and a different energy. Let's get one more here. I did also see freedom is yours at the bottom of the deck. And so I feel like, again, this is something like over these next 6 months, you're going to be setting yourself free financially. We also have a now is a lucky time with the rabbit, very abundant energy as well. And we have learn from the past. Yeah, again, we had that past, your past supports your future. I think you're learning from the past. This is what's helping you move forward now into the future. Yeah, sweet results await in the bee. We're with the bee. So things are moving in your favor, and the more that you continue to align with your path and your journey, you don't have to be perfect right now, but the actions that you're taking to align yourself are going to have you making more money. Things are going to feel lucky, even though it comes from your efforts and your work and what you've been doing. And I feel like you're doing this healing work, or if you do this healing work to shift this, you are going to see positive changes and results in your finances, as in making more money or making more sales and things like that, that are only going to continue to propel you towards your ultimate, you know, wish come true, dream come true. So I love this. It does require work, but sometimes it's just more of like realignment than it is like work, if that makes sense. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here. Hopefully this resonated for you. Let me know down below. If not, you can check out any of the other readings on my channel. I have pick a cards as well as collectives, and I'm maybe going to do some sign money reads, just some short ones. I don't do those as often. I'll just kind of do them as I feel I want to do them. But otherwise, I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you do like it and subscribe if you enjoy these messages and you want to see more of them. And I'll see you guys in the next one.